This is Okie Dokie ASMR. Welcome. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls from the US and Canada. This is considered a national crisis in both the US and Canada and affects thousands of Native and Indigenous women. In Canada, Native and Indigenous women make up only 6% of the population, but constitute 16% of the total female homicides each year, which peaked at around 24% in 2015. Specifically, British Columbia has the highest rate of disappearances where intersecting highways meet in an area nicknamed the Highway of Tears. These crimes have made it necessary for Canada to assign a group of people to the National Inquiry for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, or the MMIWG, in an attempt to curb the rates of violence toward Indigenous women and investigate individual cases more thoroughly. In the U.S., the crimes against Native women are less easy to number, not only because there is no specific high-risk area, but also because these crimes are often not reported. It is believed, however, that Native women are about twice as likely to experience violence as any other people group in the U.S. The statistics show that 1 in 3 Native American women are sexually assaulted at some point during their lives, and that 67% of these assaults are committed by non-Native people. Some legislative measures have been taken to help in the crisis, such as the Violence Against Women Act, which was passed in 2013 and gave Native American tribes the right to investigate and prosecute felony cases of domestic violence on their reservations, even if the perpetrator is non-Native. Though these types of measures help, it is still difficult to properly investigate or prosecute these crimes because the jurisdiction for each one is often split between the sovereign Native tribal government and the U.S. federal government. In some states, even the local or state government can play a part, so it is no wonder that evidence often gets lost or overlooked when it passes through so many hands. So now that you know what a large epidemic this is, I will give a few examples from my home state of Oklahoma. First, I would like to talk about Emily Morgan, who was born on January 1st of 1993 and is of Choctaw heritage. She was academically gifted and beautiful and close to both her parents. Her mother, Kim, has stated that Emily was quick-witted and beautiful and fun to be around. She had a busy social life with friends and loved to get dressed up, to go to clubs and go out dancing. But what she liked most of all was being with her son. Emily got pregnant with her son Peyton at age 16, but continued to try to better herself and had earned her GED before Peyton turned 1. She then went to college. To support herself and her son, she worked for a real estate agency and did some modeling on the side. When she was at home, she spent a lot of time cooking and spending time with Peyton, especially watching his school wrestling matches. But Emily also had a substance abuse problem. She spent some time in early 2015 in a rehab program, and by August of 2016, her mother had noticed that she relapsed. This substance abuse was not her only problem. On Friday, August 19th of 2016, someone attempted to break into her home through the back door. Emily immediately called her ex-boyfriend to come help her, but they wound up getting into a fight. Then on Tuesday, August 23rd, 2016, her ex himself broke into her home and was confronted by her best friend, one Tatnika Elix, also known as Ty. The ex-boyfriend threatened Ty with his gun, but she was able to escape and call the police. This led to the ex being arrested on weapons charges and being in police custody on the day of Emily's murder, August 26, 2016. On Friday, August 26th, Emily and Ty were found shot to death in Emily's Ford Fusion under a carport at a vacant house in Batch, Oklahoma. They were found by the homeowner's son, who immediately reported it to the police. There have been many theories and even some leads in this case, but none have led to a viable suspect. If you or someone you know has any information about the murders of Emily and Ty, please call the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation at 1-405-848-6724. That was 1-405-848-6724. Our second case is Holly Cantrell. She was born July 12, 1976, and has Native American or mixed race heritage. She was a physical therapist at the McAllister Regional Health Center. She loved country living and her animals and all of her family. At the time of her death, she was 5 months pregnant with her fourth child, and also was the stepmother of her husband Tommy Cantrell's 2 children from her previous marriage. On January 20th, 2017, the day of her disappearance, Holly was seen leaving for lunch from her workplace, getting into a green, short wheel-based truck at around 11:55 a.m. The last sighting of her was at a nearby Brahms, which is a local burger and ice cream chain. This happened at about 12:20 p.m., and she was seen getting out of the green truck, but no one saw her actually enter the restaurant. The driver of the green truck, whose name has not been released, was interviewed, and he has stated that he dropped Holly off to have lunch with some friends, and that she was going to get a different ride back to work. However, Holly was never seen alive again. Searches have been conducted in the surrounding area, but nothing was found until February of 2018, when Holly's purse was found in a park area near Lake Eufaula in Pittsburgh, Oklahoma. Then, just a couple of weeks later, human skeletal remains were found washed up from the lake about 2 miles from where Holly's purse was found. Along with the skeleton, some scraps of green material were found, possibly matching her dark green health center scrubs. These human remains were sent to a lab in Texas for DNA testing to confirm identity. It took over a year for the results to be returned, but the skeleton was eventually confirmed to be Holly Cantrell. There have been many leads and theories in Holly's case, but no arrests. The prevailing theory in the public is that Holly was having an affair, and that the baby she carried was not her husband Tommy's, but belonged to a boyfriend instead, perhaps even the green truck guy. Those that subscribe to this theory then split into 2 camps: those who say that the boyfriend killed Holly to cover up the affair, and those who say that her husband killed her in a fit of jealousy. Since no proof of the affair has been released to the public, and the police don't seem to be interested in any of the people directly involved in Holly's life, it's unclear if any of the theory is true. If you or someone you know has any information about Holly's murder, please call the McAllister Police Department at 1-918-423-1212. That's 1-918-423-1212. Our third case is Aubrey Dameron, who is a missing person from Grove, Oklahoma. She is of Cherokee heritage, about 5 feet 10 inches and about 140 pounds, with brown hair and eyes. She has 2 tattoos, one on her upper left arm saying Shorty, and one in the middle of her upper back that is a triquetra Celtic knot tattoo. Aubrey is a transgender woman, born October 22, 1993 as Austin Dameron, but has been through at least part of her transition to female. She is considered missing and endangered because of a medical condition that causes seizures. Aubrey loves singing, dancing, lip syncing, and beautiful clothes. She is kind, polite, and sweet, and her uncle, Christian Fencer, has said that she has never met a stranger. Aubrey is very close to her family and would speak to her mother every day up until she went missing. She and her uncle Christian also have been very close, as they are only 6 months apart in age and have gone through some challenges together. One example is that Christian supported Aubrey in her transition to female, and Aubrey has supported Christian in his coming out as gay. Aubrey has also suffered with a substance abuse problem and left Oklahoma after high school to get a fresh start in New Mexico. It has been said that she moved to get away from an abusive relationship because her ex-boyfriend has been known to threaten her life, and this was noted on several occasions. In the fall of 2018, Aubrey moved back to Oklahoma to live with her mother, despite her mother struggling to accept her as a woman. Aubrey worked at McDonald's, attended Cornerstone Church, and was attending a beauty college at the time of her disappearance. She was last seen at around 3:30 a.m. on March 9th, 2019, leaving her mother's house on the north side of Grove, Oklahoma. Aubrey's cell phone was later pinged, but the location was near her mother's house, so it didn't provide any new information to police or to her family. Although Aubrey was reported missing within 2 days of her disappearance, police searches were not begun until over 2 weeks later. The police have been accused of discrimination against Aubrey because she is transgender. However, they have stated that at first they assumed she merely walked away to start a new life. Aubrey's family believes that she would have told them if she was going away somewhere, and that her disappearance is quite possibly an LGBTQ+ hate crime. Since the police were slow to respond, Aubrey's family took it upon themselves to organize some searches in the beginning, and then once police joined the search, canine units were also sent out. The dogs hid on a tarp and some other various points around a pond that is near Grove, Oklahoma. The pond was partially drained and then dredged, but nothing was found. Police later received a tip that Aubrey was spotted at Quapaw Casino on March 16, 2019, in the company of a heavy-set Native American man with long hair. This lead too came to a dead end. Then late in April, someone logged into her Meet Me app, and it was traced to an office in Irving, Texas, but this lead also went nowhere. Another tip stated that Aubrey was dead and had been buried in Kenwood, Oklahoma, but her body was not found. They only found some clothes that may or may not have even belonged to her. Police have been very interested in Aubrey's last few Facebook messages, in which she asks several different people for rides from her mother's house in the early hours of March 9th before she went missing. They have conducted interviews with some of these people, but again, do not have a viable suspect. Because of the 2-week delay in local police investigation, Aubrey's case is now under investigation by the Cherokee Marshals and is also being reviewed by the Presidential Task Force of Missing and Murdered American Indians and Alaska Natives. Some theories in this case. 1. Aubrey committed suicide because of family and social pressure. Her family has stated that this is not even possible, that she was a very positive person and would never have committed suicide. And also her body was never found, so I don't really find that one to be likely. Second, Aubrey's ex-boyfriend might have killed her, but I could find no information showing that they had any contact near the time of her death. Third, a suspected kidnapper named Danette Robotham, who is connected to the ex-boyfriend, has been hiding Aubrey in Ketchum, Oklahoma, in order to extort drug money from her or her family and friends. Some people also think that Audrey's mother could be involved or be harboring someone who is, because she was reluctant to accept Aubrey as female, and may have even bullied her. However, Aubrey's mother has been cooperative with the investigation and has even told police about an encounter she had with Aubrey's ex-boyfriend, during which he taunted her by saying that he had killed Aubrey. Later, the mother recanted this statement, but it is possible that she may have been threatened to do so. If you or someone you know has any information regarding Aubrey's case, please call the Delaware County Sheriff's Office at 1-918-253-4351. That's 1-918-253-4351. Or call the Cherokee Marshals at 1-918-207-3800. Again, that's 1-918-207-3800. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day.